That's hip hop.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Ralph. This is episode number 216. 216. And I am here when my usual suspects is the one in the blazer, but not the one that's blazing, is Mr. Don doing stuff.
Kong Hei Fat Chai, guys. What's doing?
And he's learnt a new language ever since the last episode.
It's Chinese New Year, so I had to dress up for a Chinese New Year lunch.
Bro. I love it. Your shirt reminds me of Asian glow. So happy Lunar New Year to everyone out there.
Lunar New Year.
And on to my right, I feel closer than ever because of the position that we're in on this new setup. Mr. Buhai Kali and the new beige hat himself. Hey, Christian Garcia.
I'll take Nazis.
And all the way in London town, Mr. Blazin', but no blazer right now.
No blazer.
Jacket in
jacket.
That's blazing.
Lay homa.
Hey. Shouts to all the
It means
homers
how's
out
it going? It's how's it going? Apparently, I had time to research it now.
Oh man!
Ever since it's like
Cantonese,
this is when you know our podcast is. We find out that it's Lunar New Year and everyone just learns Chinese for the episode. I need to learn one phrase to say at the start. But this is a special episode because we have a special guest.
Special.
She is a life and business coach.
Yay.
And she's traveled the world from 7 seas. From how many countries so far?
47.
Oh, 47.
That's like a podcast.
47 countries right now.
47 countries.
Content creator, Miss Leanne Melody. Hey, this is your third time.
Yes.
So you've been 47 times around the world, but you've
Three times.
3 times around on this podcast.
In all the different sets.
all different sets.
From 1K, 10K to 100K
Oh my
followers. Hey.
One of the rare guests that's seen us from our no fans to now we have our only fans.
That one is
Really evolved. I have
love
to
it.
hand it to you.
Hey, of course.
Yes.
Like, congratulations on being on such a platform of the
So
Filipino
honored.
community.
So honored.
We're happy for you.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
I'm having mad deja vu right now.
I wonder why.
I was literally saying, I mean, I've seen you guys evolve from just talking shit. Can we swear here?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, shit fuck yeah.
So I've seen you evolve from just like talking shit. We're just talking about anything and anyone, and we would just crack up, have like 2-hour episodes on nothing. No one would be listening, and you guys just kept it going. 200 episodes in, I was like,
Yeah. Hey,
And I'll tell you what.
it's worth it because like people are now backtracking to our episodes.
Yeah.
So they're gonna
And they
see
know
the
you're
other
OG.
2
now
episodes.
they've seen you evolve.
Hey,
I'll tell you
That's
what,
it.
that episode that Leanne was on, there's a lot of really good content on there. So if you...
Was that the one
I'm
where we
gonna
got
let
really
you- I'm gonna let you
vulnerable?
guys
I think
know.
that was the most vulnerable we
Bro.
got.
Yeah, I think
The
I
last
let you do
episode-
a
that was the
coaching
one.
session.
The
I'm
last
getting
episode,
deja
we
vu.
were the ones like the last episodes. If you want to look for it, it's one of the episodes where we nearly cried on the podcast.
I
Yeah.
interviewed you. I flipped the script.
We almost cried.
Yeah.
We got really
What the hell
deep.
happened,
We're talking
man?
about life
I don't know.
and our goals and shit. It
Coaching
just got really
magic.
Are you
deep.
gonna do that tonight?
I mean,
I'm not ready for this.
Well, you're the only one that hasn't cried yet. So
I just watched Freedom Riders this morning. I can't. I'm still raw.
So what's the big things that you've done since the last time in episode 100 and something
100.
to now?
well, the global
hundreds? Yeah.
pandemic hit.
Yes.
Goodness me.
Yeah,
And
that-
you guys skyrocketed. Everybody had to pivot, and I was doing travel content creation, and then I lost all my work.
Yeah.
I couldn't travel anymore,
Yeah.
and it actually
You know,
helped
there's
me.
one thing I have to say is like it's crazy how the first time we met you, we wanted to get more views and followers because of your following.
Yeah.
And now the roles have flipped.
What a guy. What a guy.
The roles have flipped.
What a dude.
Everyone
That's
that doesn't know, this
pandemic
is
does.
Leanne Melody to our fans out
I'm
there.
so honored.
Hey,
you know what this is, because like Leanne's been a friend of ours for so long. It's one of those things where you're part of the furniture with us, like
Friend of the show.
I'm just
Friend
the
of the
couch.
show.
I'm just the couch.
you're one of the fam. That's what I mean. One of the fam.
Well, like, yeah, so you now, like, because you had lockdown and then you faced the facts that you couldn't travel anymore. And we've talked about that in the last episode and how you had to pivot.
Yep.
But now,
Yeah.
now I want to ask you, like, how does it feel traveling again?
Again.
Like having that moment where you never travel and you thought that it was the end of like your whole travel content creating thing, and now you can start all over.
Dude, life has changed so much, not only because the borders have opened, but because I was able to build my business. So I think last time I was on here, I pivoted into coaching and just teaching, teaching what I know, which was at the time I was helping you guys grow, but also, I mean, just like helping people make an impact with their content. It helps me now just be able to work on my laptop and travel. And so it's not just like I'm traveling for the sake of it anymore. I can travel and I can be based, I can move to Thailand, I can move to Phil's, I can move wherever in the world.
Wherever, yeah.
And life is so different. It's very different from just traveling for leisure because I can have a lifestyle now where I can build communities, and I can just work off my phone.
The dream. The dream.
That's so cool, man.
So how many countries do you reckon by the end of the year will you be travel? Well, let's manifest it. You're on 47.
Where are you next, actually?
47 now. What's the next?
47.
I mean, I think, the goal is 50, but I stopped trying to count because I feel like when you're really starting off and you're being like an avid traveler, everyone just wants to count countries and collect countries. And I used to be like that when I was a lot younger. I would just do all these tours. I mean, that's, like being in Europe, you can just pump them out. But then now I'm moving into really appreciating travel and doing a lot more slow travel, more impactful travel. And so I had the plan last year to move to Thailand. Things may or may not change. But doing longer term travel. I still want to hit 50, but I'm okay with like staying in a place for 2 months, 6 months, or really like immersing myself and being
You're not
my
far
Aussie
off 50.
filler.
Another 3 more
I get that,
countries.
man.
You think that now, but
100%.
once you hit 49, you're so close that you might as well just travel.
Oh, dude, no,
You might as well,
I will
fuck, I'm
hit
gonna
50. I will hit
You're gonna
50.
hit 50,
That's just a life goal. I mean, that's probably in the next 2 years.
Hey.
Boom.
Yeah, man.
Boom. Boom.
Hey.
But the
And
world
what-
is open.
What's the next one then? Like, do you have your
Yeah,
eyes
where
set
you going,
out
man?
on a certain area, place?
So I'm going to go to Phil's next, which is coming home, returning home.
But you already been there.
I have.
wanna
I
go.
It
have.
doesn't count. It will be stuck on 47 then. Oh, sorry.
Nah,
Oh,
it's
you
just-
mean
it's
new
not about
countries?
ticking off.
I'm here to
47.1.
reconnect with my culture. My culture. I'm trying to immerse myself.
There's a bunch of islands
Nah.
there.
Yeah, 7,000
Yeah, I get that.
islands.
7,000 of them.
But one country, 7,000
islands in the world.
So I'm going to Philippines and then going back to LA.
Hey, back to LA.
Shout out
LA.
to all of LA.
I know, I heard you guys have a big fan base there.
Yeah, 80%.
It changes every time we talk
Listeners.
about it. It's like 70, 60, 80. It's in the high
80%,
percentage.
50%.
It's
It's up
60%.
there.
Okay, I will say
Majority.
it was my first time going to California as an adult recently. I went for 2 weeks, turned into 2 months, and I just got immersed in this whirlwind.
Yep.
And I will say, there is a huge Filipino community there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really crazy because being an Australian, it's like same but different. They're just like us, but
I get that
same
vibe.
culture but different font. If you
Yeah,
know what I mean. They're just like
You mean like different font, but different like italics? We're
just
like
they're
italics.
we're
and
like the italics.
Like how we say
Times New
Philos.
Roman.
They say
Times
Philos.
Yeah,
Korean New Year.
Nats is on it. Okay, so
Next is
few
wingdings.
different things. They don't shortcut things like we do.
And they don't abbreviate
In
words.
fact, a lot of American philos don't really know there's like a demographic of philos in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
that's why they love watching us, because we're like such a niche.
Because we're niche.
Because
We are
we're weird.
niche.
Like,
So,
weird
It's like,
Filipino.
they're like, whoa, Filipinos, but in Australia,
You know,
whoa.
It's kind of like we sent you out there as a spy for a couple of months
Doing
just
some
to
research.
observe the Philam culture.
It's very different. So they're like us, except instead of saying heaps, they say hella.
Oh,
Instead of
Oh,
saying
yeah,
Filipinos,
yeah.
they say philo.
That's hella
Yeah.
hard.
And they just sprinkle hella on everything. I mean, I
Yo,
spent,
those Cheatcoder guys, they're hella Filipino.
they're hella.
Hella
Don't doing
basa.
stuff is
They're-
don't doing stuff is hella
Hella
fine.
Hella basa.
hella basa.
Hella basa. Shout
Hella
out.
basa.
This book's a hella basa.
Trust me, you go there and you're gonna like, you will fight the urge just to not say hella because it's just a different language. But they get the same jokes.
Can you go there and just be like, oh, that's heaps hella.
I tried saying that to my friend. I was like,
Hella heaps.
I'm too full. I drank heaps of water. They're like, what's heaps of water? And I'm
Water.
like, oh, it means a
You
lot.
drank hella water.
They don't say keen out there as well, eh?
Don't say keen.
So you can say I'm hella keen
I'm
and confuse the crap out of it.
yeah.
No, because
Hella keen,
they say
man.
bet out there. And then instead of like, oh yeah, we're gonna go out to eat. Oh, bet. I bet.
Bet that's heaps good, bro.
And then
That's
we'd be like,
heaps good.
Heaps keen,
we'd
man.
be like Kane. Yeah, Kane.
Yeah,
If we
keen.
say hella keen, we'd get arrested or some shit. What language is this?
And then they have like
Heaps
different sects of people. Like they have the Bay Area who have their own lingo.
I heard about this whole Bay Area, like NorCal versus SoCal
It's very
fillers.
different.
Well, it's not like it's like a divisive kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, so there's people that say grew up in the Bay Area, living in LA now. It's like, oh, this guy, and they'll give him shit for it because he grew up.
They're
from
very
the north.
they're very like proud. Like they really rep their area.
Yeah.
Whereas,
That's,
I mean, it's
that's
like
where E40's from, right?
Yeah,
In the Bay.
That's the Bay Area.
They say
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like, "Ya feel me? Ya feel me?"
One of my mates, shout out to Ron. He's mates with E40, and apparently he's brought into this Filipino company called Lumpia. And basically it's like lumpia for white people, really.
Yeah.
So they got like white flavors of lumpia
there's
being
just-
sold
it
in the
just- it's
Bay Area.
bland.
What, like
Bland
spaghetti
lumpia.
inside
In
lumpia?
Westernized.
No, like
Wow.
no.
Just more bland, less flavor.
Kind. No. Kind.
More salt.
It's
less
really
meat.
like, to be honest, more like it's like overpriced, but like it's flavors that you wouldn't really see from
Bougie.
Phil's, and then
Yeah, I get ya.
put it into a lumpia, and then they sell it for like $15 for a pair.
Oh,
But
wow.
then, I mean, it's E40,
Like,
dude.
Good for them because I think something that they nail over in the States because there's a demographic there is they can do Filo-fusion really well. They could do like adobo bowls. Like
Yeah.
you do that here and it's like people don't really eat Filo.
I just like the sound of
Yeah.
adobo bowls.
Adobo bowls.
Adobo bowls.
Adobo bowls.
Adobo.
Sinigang bowls. Well, yeah, you do that here and there's just not enough of us.
I think because Chinese food has evolved because it needed to change a little bit into Western. They've been like Chinese people have been in other countries for so long that you get these Westernized types of Chinese food, and I think Filipino food needs to go through that similar type of evolution for it to become a little more mainstream or a little more like in the.
Wait, so the Chinese food we have isn't really Chinese food?
Is it no?
No, like I mean, some of it isn't like the really, really traditional Chinese food, like the textures and some of the flavors. And
I
stuff.
think what helps is having a large population of people who would like support it. Whereas like you come here and like we have some Filipino places popping off, but like we just don't. I think as a nation, as Filo-Australians, we just don't have enough of us to like really like support it. Whereas say you go to America, I think in California it's like the biggest demographic that's like the largest population outside of the Philippines, and so you go there and you just feel like home is like a Western
Man, I
Philippine.
wanna go now.
It's very different, and you just feel the
wanna
support. You feel like I don't know. I saw this TikTok once. And it was like of like a Filo-American, a Phil-Am. And it was just like a random TikTok. And she had like text on the screen saying, I always wished I had the confidence of a Filipino who grew up in California. So she was probably from some like Buffack town, like some whoop whoop town in America. And I was thinking like, I wonder why that is. And I was thinking, I guess so. Because like, for us, we have like pockets of Philos in Western Sydney.
Yep.
But if you meet a Philo from like Perth or like Albury Wodonga, like they're gonna be so Albury Wodonga. They're like really whitewashed and they don't have the same like confidence. They don't have the same humor.
I get it.
Proud to
I
be
get it.
Filipino.
Filipinos. And it's like I think it's a level of if you have people around you who look like you, who talk like you guys, like we kind of grew up around Philos, like there's just a different level of confidence.
Yeah.
And like there's just more representation, which is why I think what you guys are doing is so important because people can feel seen and heard through your content.
Yeah.
It's like Filipinos are just based on what they're surrounded by, right? So they get influenced by the people around them, and they turn themselves.
Now,
into this type
know
of
where to find
Filipino.
Filipinos anywhere, like in like I can only say in Europe. Just find a Jollibee, and for some reason they're all concentrated. It's like flies.
That's it.
finding
That's
like
what
the
you
lemon.
know. But we don't even have that here.
if there's no Jollibee, it's a KFC.
You got to open that wound again,
Or,
Nats,
fried chicken.
and pour salt into it. We don't have Jollibee here in Australia.
Speaking of which, there's one thing that I want to talk about.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
every place that sells chips should sell rice.
Oh yeah.
Go on.
An
Because I am
alternative.
sick and tired of going from one place to another to complete my food. So I went to
I
like
feel you. I get
I
that.
went to a new chicken joint, fried chicken joint. I'm
Okay.
like, all right, I love, like, you like to collect countries. I like to collect. I like to
Chicken.
collect.
Chicken
I'm already up
joints.
to
I like to
over
collect
100
rice.
So different types of fried chicken. So I go to a fried chicken joint, and most fried chicken joint, if they're not Asian based, they won't have rice. They'll have chips. They'll have like onion rings or some sort. And then I'm all like, all right, cool. But I base the taste of the chicken with a nice boiled rice, steamed rice. So I go from the chicken joint, and then I go to the nearest Asian joint, and then the Asian people
So much effort.
at the Asian joint, they look at me weird because I'm not buying anything from them. They be like, why do you keep buying rice and only rice from my place? And I'm just saying, like, in my mind, I'm just like, you know what? None of these joints they all have chips, but they never have
You
rice.
can't have a one-stop shop.
So,
I can't.
So instead of
I
Kentucky having
convenience, right?
Kentucky fried rice.
You know, it made me think. It made me think if say a white person went to Singapore or like an Asian country,
Yeah.
and they decided, you know what, I want to have some fish and chips. They go to a place. They does sold fish and rice.
Steamed fish.
And you
like
can't tell
Asian
them
fish.
because like people have been telling me like, oh, you can just go home and steam your own rice.
Yeah.
And you can't. You even imagine it was the other way around. And then you go up to the white person and be like, why don't you just go home and get your air fryer and get some new chips?
You know,
That's racist.
Grub, right? That's what he does. He goes to different places, but he brings his rice cooker in the car.
bro.
Yeah. So they'll go to Mexican
I was
places,
thinking that's a good
and then
idea. That's a
they
good
have
idea,
rice
man.
with them.
That's a fucking $1 million idea. Like you can
Portable rice.
Portable rice.
No, get like
Keep it in
a
the middle
car
part.
version.
Middle
Like you
part.
know the car with the car accessories for your iPhone, and you connect it to your car, but like a rice
Some
cooker, and you like
bigas.
hook it up,
Yeah.
and then it goes in the car battery. Oh fuck! Every Filipino car should
But then
have
again, like, you know what will
portable
solve
rice
it? If
cooker.
every joint had rice.
Yeah.
Like as much as
That's
I love
true.
chips, it's just not my thing, bro.
So we're starting a new company
Rice
called
is
Kanin to You. That's what we're gonna call it.
Kanin to
Kanin to You. We'll do deliveries.
No,
We've
no,
got a
it's gonna
rice
be called
cooker.
Have a Rice Day.
In West, since we're in West Sydney, it's called Kanye West.
Actually, that's a really big thing. Like, remember how like in COVID, everyone was just Ubering everything. Yeah, like there would be full-on Asian joints that would make so much money just having rice because you can just order it on your phone. You just order from one joint, and then you just order
people
just
buying like
rice.
eggs and bread from Macca's drive-through, right?
Yeah.
Because of the whole so if rice was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's convenient. But like, imagine you're Ubering a place like, oh, I'm gonna get the fried chicken from here,
rice.
but they don't have rice. I'm gonna go to another place, get the rice, and then one is gonna go before the other. I'm just like, oh my god, you get the rice first? It's like, no chicken. Or do you get the chicken first? It's like, fuck, there's no rice. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. I'm telling you right now, they should have some rice in the places that they sell chips.
It's a gap in the market.
It's a gap in the market, and I am complaining. Like, if we're not going to get Jollibee in Australia, we might as well get the next best thing and have rice in every single joint.
Yep.
Facts.
This guy's so passionate. Holy shit.
Did you hear that, Redley?
It's gonna
Get some
happen.
rice. Get some rice.
No, Redley has rice. I know.
Does it?
Shout outs to you. They have
Wow.
they have the
Do
special
they?
rice.
Oh, yeah,
special
they do.
rice.
I don't
They
know
do.
anywhere that has rice.
They got fried
that
rice.
does chicken.
Just
Wow.
Yeah, we just need to find a way to band together and make Filo food more celebrated.
Yep.
Because there's just not enough. There's not enough
that's true.
representation.
Because if anything, it's like looked at as competition, right? Whenever a restaurant comes up, it's like we can make
Bro.
better than
Every
you know?
single time.
I ate at Sermano the other day, and you know what? I enjoyed it.
That's good.
And you know what?
Support.
The other thing is
I'm hearing it like a butt.
the other thing. No, I enjoyed it to the max. Though I enjoyed it
To the max.
To the max.
To the max. I hella enjoyed it.
Hey, hella heaps.
But the one thing that I can't do, I can't tell my parents that.
Yes. Okay, so this is the problem with the older generation, and this is why there's no Filo businesses and no Filo food in Australia, because every older generation is like, hey, bakit ganyan?
I don't
Yeah.
want to. Yeah.
Why
They've always got something to say about it, right?
They're just like,
It's
I
like
can
some
make
sort
it
of
better at
criticism.
home.
Yeah, I could tell my parents about an Italian joint that is so good. I'm like, oh yeah, go there, try it on a date night, or like a steakhouse, or like a fast
Yeah,
food
we can
joint. But
change
when it
that.
comes to a
We can
Filipino
change
joint,
it.
I have to second guess it.
No, the
need to
Lolas just
change
have to
that.
one up you.
I know. It's
Hey, what
Oh,
what
you
about
really
that
like-
place you guys took us with the purple drink? That's kind of Filipino.
A
oh,
burger
yeah, the
point.
burger
That's a
point.
burger joint, though.
That's
No,
but isn't
but
that
they
Filipino?
yes,
yeah,
they
but
do.
you don't. Your parents don't really go, "Oh man, I can make a burger better than a burger
Yeah.
joint." You
But
know what I mean?
It's
Yeah, that's
fusion.
true.
It's good.
But it is a
It's
step
good.
forward. It's like it is Filipino. I feel like
And that
it's-
does
it's
well
like
in the
food.
filler concentrated.
And with
There's a
so
lot-
much,
there's a lot-
this is
there's a
not
lot.
like a sponsorship or anything. The thing I like
Although
about
we
it,
wouldn't,
is that-
wouldn't mind.
We endorse
I
it.
wouldn't mind. Like the thing I like about So Manong is it's like a bit of fusion that you can't get in your own home type of thing.
It is good. It
You
is
know?
good. And it's a fusion is like a good introduction
Yes.
for white
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Because
There was a whole table like next to, and there was a table. It was a table of 15, and they were all white.
nice.
And then I was just sitting there like, yeah, good
Ang
choice,
galing.
guys.
Hang on. What did they order though? Did you see
I
what
didn't
they
see
ordered?
it.
Because if they're having the ampalaya,
They
I'd
got
be
the
like, yes.
They got the bangos.
Yes.
They got the
They have a dish
fish.
that has bagong.
Yeah.
You're like, good on you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
They got balot each.
Oh
No,
shit!
But I don't know. I
would've
couldn't
bought
see
Way
what
more
they
that.
had.
filler than me.
you know, put them on levels.
Yeah, but
think, yeah,
like
the
I could,
introduction
like,
thing's right.
like I was trying to imagine their conversations. Like, oh, guys, it's my birthday. Let's go have some Filipino. And I was like, imagine that conversation going through. It makes you proud, you know. As a
Yeah.
That's
Filipino.
cultural goals.
You know, like
You know, that's your work with this podcast, spreading the love. Look, get on Filipino
because of us,
food.
those white people were in that.
Can I just say though, like
That
so,
restaurant.
I go to Parramatta often and like go to restaurants and stuff around there. There is one Filipino restaurant I think doesn't get enough like love out in Parramatta on Church Street.
what is that?
Estelitas. I went there just to have halo halo.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
So shout outs to that. If you guys want Filipino food, go to Estelitas.
Parramatta.
Just in Parramatta, or even just go there for the dessert. They have halo halo. They have like other.
You know what?
Filipino
Let's make this a
desserts.
worldwide message. Everyone that has a Filipino joint in their local area or even somewhere
Yeah.
near them, go support.
Go
because
support. We need to change the narrative.
Yeah, let's change the narrative. Like staying at home because like back in the day would be like the only way we can get Filipino food is like go to our parents' house.
Yeah.
Let's change that narrative and like support the businesses that actually has the balls because you know it's how competitive Filipinos
Hell
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
what
the
was that
balls
one
to
we
make their
went
own
to
restaurant.
after when the one we went to Almonds and there was that barbecue place? That place was dope,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, shout out to that. What was
I
that
forgot
place
it's
called again?
What was the place again?
Smoky-
That's
Smoky cravings.
Smoky
That's
Cravings.
fire, man. You know another thing though with Filipino food, I think you brought up a good point. Like the whole introduction to it because it's so foreign and
so
maybe very
foreign.
exotic for some people.
It's not Asian.
Because I've brought like people like to go Filipino food with non-fillers before, and sometimes it's like minesweeper, eh? Like depending on what they do with how they mix it. Like someone's like dipping like the wrong thing, like adobo, and then they like douse it with bagaong. It's like no, that's the wrong combo. That's the wrong combo. But they like sometimes you don't know, right? You just see all this food, you're like, what the fuck? And they're just doing it all wrong. It's like you're gonna get the worst
we need to
experience.
educate them.
You need to educate and then introduce
It
with like the
starts with
fusions
us.
because it starts off like low level fusion, like introductions, and then you get to like the real deal, and then people will start to know. It's like Japanese, like when people don't know, and then they douse the what is it?
Wasabi.
The wasabi, and you get the first douse of a spoonful of wasabi, and you're like fuck,
Clears
But
your
then
sinuses.
You level up, and you
Yeah.
start to get familiar with the real deal later on.
Well, maybe if they bring a Jollibee to Australia, that could be a good introduction.
Fast food.
Challenging all of you who can get Jollibee here.
It is.
We're still waiting for it. We're still waiting.
It wasn't that good.
It's meant to be in
Garcia
Campbelltown.
wasn't very impressed by it.
I will be honest
I think
though,
it's overhyped.
guys. I grew up not fully embracing and proud of bringing filler food to school just because when you're like growing up in
Yeah.
Australia, when you're around white people, dude, they dog you
It's
so
mad bullying. Hey,
Yeah, bro.
Oh my gosh, I had all my white friends saying like, "Oh, Leanne's got like this weird exotic food. It looks like dog food."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd be so
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Ashamed.
And you know how like in primary school, right? And kids are mean. White kids are mean. You know how you're like bartering. Shout outs.
That's all you white kids.
No, but like you go to lunchtime and you're bartering your food. You know, kids got like fish and chips.
Yeah.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah, I got friends
Sausage
who have
roll.
like Vegemite, and I'd pick you with my dinuguan. Anybody want some? I'll be like, oh, I'll trade you your Zupa Dupas for some isda, for some tortang talong.
Pinatang
Bro, tortang talong is the best.
Dude, and I would get so... Yeah, I would just get so bullied for my food. And so no wonder, like, we don't grow up appreciating it. Especially if you got white friends who are like, oh, Leanne's bag smells like pussy.
Whoa, hey, well,
Whoa.
I would literally go to my mom. I'd be like, Mom, my mates think my lunchbox smells like pussy, but I just spilled my patis.
Oh no! Oh man!
oh my! I'm not gonna. We're not
He
going.
spilled the patis.
I
That's game
spilled the
over.
patis. I'm like, Mom, no more
Patis, bro.
patis. Just paint me Vegemite, please.
You gotta like burn
Don't say that
bag,
word.
man.
Wait,
My
P word.
backpack.
Don't say that word.
Why is my
Patis.
food smelly?
but the first mistake you did was didn't go on. Like even Filipinos hate that shit. So, I'm joking.
No.
It's full on
Even the Filipinos be like, hey, what is
No, I
that?
told my friends, I'm like, it's just like bacon, but different. just use the exotic parts of
it's like
the
the
pig.
essence of the bacon. All the flavor of
It's
the
just
bacon
like-
is in there.
This is what
Yes.
kept the pig alive for a second.
Bro, I brought rice and corned beef to school,
Oh,
and
bro,
they gave me
oh,
shit for
man.
that. I'm like, come on, man, it's not
You
even
can-
Philo, dude.
It's like you can get this from Woolworths, bro.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
This is a Woolies can.
It's just how it looks.
Just
how it
ignorant.
smells.
Just ignorant.
And so, if we just, raise our kids with, well, actually, that's what happened with us. But if we just, become proud of our cuisine,
Culture and cuisine.
people will
Well,
know.
jokes on them. We got Miss Universe, so it's all good.
Whoa.
Segway King.
Hey.
Wow, Segway King. For context, Miss USA has won.
It feels like it's a loophole, though.
Yeah. So Miss
gave me
USA
an
has won
idea.
the Miss Universe
Yeah.
pageant, but she's half
half
Filipino.
If we just go around the world as a group and they can colonize the way they did to back in the day, we have a higher rate of winning Miss Universe.
At any given time, like if every Miss Universe pageant is like half Filipino, we technically have a 50-50%.
It's funny because like the white people colonization was to take over the world. Our one is just to win
Like,
Miss Universe.
This year's winner is Miss Dubai, and then all the Filipinos are like,
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like that movie Aliens, where they like attack different life forms and then just take their form.
That's just Filipinos. So you just migrate
Like a parasite, bro.
Are you talking about body
Sounds like
snatchers?
so-
I think it's different to body snatchers, bro.
They just compared us to aliens.
Hey man, we're a race, bro.
Oh my gosh.
See, because I was like, oh okay, because Miss Philippines lost in the pageant.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were down. And then once people realized that Miss USA was half Filipino,
They were like, oh,
One more chance.
Filipino ba siya? Filipino ba siya?
We still have a chance.
they still have a chance.
I feel like
So-
all Philos in Miss Universe who are from the Philippines are half anyway.
So
Exactly, yeah.
we'll get Miss Australia to be half Filipino, strengthens our chances. Get Miss USA to stay half
Just
Filipino.
pollinate.
Yeah.
You know, Miss France to be Miss France to be half Filipino as well.
It reminds me of that. Just from what Nats was saying, it reminds me of the that story from Marvel, Secret Invasion, where the Skrulls kind of invade and take over positions of power in the thing. That's Filipinos, right? Here we go.
It's like
Secret
once
invasion.
they're crowning, like I don't know, Miss Azerbaijan or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they put the crown on, and then they'll be like, "Oh, it's fucking like fools! Like you got fooled or whatever, like because you didn't do a blood test. Like turns out I'm 50%.
I'm Filipino.
Yeah. Fuck you, Steve Harvey.
Bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, man, congratulations to Miss Filipino. Miss Filipino. Miss Universe. Being half Filipino.
Oh man.
And yeah, man, let's win
I think-
every single pageant.
I think one of the things is like the fact that they're halfies and stuff. Is that a derogatory term? The people that are like half, like, you know, ethnicity and whatever. It's like bringing people together, and it's just like bridging the gap. There shouldn't be any divide between races.
Oh yeah, in
You know
50
what I mean?
years, everyone's going to be like mixed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Globalization.
Exactly.
Yeah. So every like candidate in Miss Universe is exactly the same person.
That is going to be a trip, though, eventually, right?
Eventually, we're all
Because
going to
then
be
it'd be
mixed
like,
bread.
who do you represent, and at what point does it become?
But then again, I feel sorry because like how arrogant of a world we are to really nominate a Miss Universe? You know how big the universe
Yeah, I
is?
know. Right?
Yeah, bro.
You know how
what about
arrogant you have to be?
Martians and the
There's chicks
people
in
from
Jupiter. Like, fuck that bitch.
Chicks.
I could have answered that question better.
The women on Venus are just like seething. God, I'm so much prettier than her. So much
These
prettier than her.
earthlings are so
They didn't even go to our world to nominate
these
any of
earthlings.
us.
in
The
their own
fucking
world.
universe, bro.
The whole universe. We have the arrogance to claim it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh man, you guys.
Hey,
You guys. Well, shout outs to
That's
Miss
what- that's
Universe,
what we
bro.
do.
shout outs.
Hey, what's her name? Let's find out her name.
Yeah, I want to look it up. So did she actually win?
Producer Nats.
Something Dela Cruz, I think. I don't know. There's a good chance, mate.
I have no idea.
Bro.
Are you related to her?
Bro, you got a screen right in front of you.
I do have a Miss Universe, 15th of January. Oh, it's already passed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout outs to
Emily
our
Austin.
Bonnie Gabrielle. I don't know who you're talking about. Our Bonnie Gabrielle.
That's the
Shout
one.
outs
There you go.
to you, Miss Universe. Come to the podcast.
Okay.
Let's have a conversation.
Very good.
Yeah. But like back to Leanne conquering the world. Have you
Speaking of
noticed,
conquering
have
the
you
universe.
have you noticed any differences
Conquering
in the culture? What's kind of like the main differences that you find in
From
cultures?
LA to here.
No, not even LA. I want to try and get to the different different cultures. you face.
Everywhere. Well, first of all, a lot of Philos don't actually travel that much. I mean, Philo Aussies travel because we're Aussie, but like Philos, I mean, some Philos from the Philippines, and mind you, Philos from the Philippines are very, very different from like Western Filipinos. It's just a bit of it's like a different culture. And so I don't actually find too many brown girls traveling. They just don't.
It's more for work, right? Like in
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's more for work.
it's for work.
Yeah. Like they'll go overseas and
And
stay
I used
there
to
long
think,
term.
like, why don't we,
Cruise.
as a community, like, why don't we travel much? I actually used to, like, when I grew up, I was just wondering, like, oh, why are all my friends' parents so cool? They're talking to their kid, like my white friends' parents, they're so cool. They're talking to their kids about, like, traveling. They have a travel fund set up, or they're talking about politics or, like, activism, and they're just like, meanwhile, you go back home, everyone's on karaoke, and they're talking about, like, just, you know, the artistas.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, no, it's just different, right? Dude, it's different.
I'd rather karaoke than talk about
Yeah,
politics.
he went on the defense, this guy.
It's like, who's the new president? Oh, I don't give a fuck. Just once. Get me big.
But you know what? It's so different because I was like, yeah, like why are my friends who like, you know, grow up in my school, like they love traveling, they love exploring the world, and they just have like deep conversations with their parents, and mine don't. And I'm like, why are my white friends so woke? But then I realized, as I grew up, I'm like, you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs? So basically, you don't have space to, like, you know, a lot of white people, a lot of privileged people, or like people in a higher class, they have space to think about the world and like education and all of those things.
Yep.
And to travel, they have
That's
like
it.
the disposable income to freely travel and like talk about big dreams. Whereas my parents, I used to like bag them out for not like being woke or whatever. But then I realized, oh my gosh, no, like they spent like their first 20 years of their lives trying to migrate to Australia.
Trying to survive.
Well, that's
To
the traveling
survive.
that they did. Like
Exactly,
them
and that's why they
moving
don't
their life
need
here.
it.
Yeah.
Because
It's not high on the priority list.
yeah,
I
because
think.
their
It's
mindset
like
is
survive.
in survival.
work.
It's so different,
Yeah,
and that made
different.
me respect, you know, my parents so much more because it's different, but that's because they had a whole set of priorities. So, in turn, they're not teaching their kids like, oh, travel's a big learning lesson or a priority.
They're
And
talking
so-
about safety. They're talking about
Safety.
like let's not take risks.
primal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, don't take risks, like, you know, become a doctor. That same narrative because it's like, that's safety. That's going to give you a better life.
Yeah.
And so it made me realize, okay, that's why there's not many Philos. So when I go, people are very confused because they don't meet many like Aussie solo female travelers. Yeah,
That's true.
they meet a lot of Aussies, they meet a lot of white people, Europeans, but yeah, not many Philos. So that's why we represent.
Do you make it a point to look for the Filipino groups, like whenever you're traveling to, I don't know, say a country that generally you wouldn't think there's any like a Filipino community there? you make it a point to go, hey, we're gonna find some fillers around
It's
here.
cool. It's cool, but I mean, they're not really out. Like, I mean, unless, say, in California, it's very different.
Yeah.
California is just like you land in the country and it's like Tumblr 2010.
What?
Do you remember when Tumblr was like a really big thing?
Yep.
And like
I
YouTube.
thought you were talking about a tumbleweed that's
No,
advanced.
Tumblr.
Oh, Tumblr. Okay.
I thought you were talking
That's
about like
how-
Batman's, car from
I think
Batman.
that's how all of those guys blew up because they had like the platform online, and that's when Aussies realized like, oh, there's Filipinos in other parts of the world.
Is it true that
We're out here, guys. We're out here.
Is it true that like with like Filipinos going into LA or to into LAX specifically, once you get out of the plane, AJ Raphael will come and like say, like hug you and welcome you into the country. Right next to him is like Jeremy Pashin.
Yeah, Jeremy Basham. The what do you call it? The sections are just named after the YouTube stars.
It's like which baggage thing do I get? You get it from the Passion
They're like
baggage
ambassadors.
I thought I looked at it, the gay bond dog one.
It says here that I'm Jesse Barrera is gonna pick me up.
This is the biggest name dropping.
That's really funny.
Go to New York and be like, Ryan Mitchell Gray is gonna.
There's this little Australian corner called the Cheatcoders.
and there's nobody there.
Except Leanne.
That's where your luggage goes missing.
Really funny. That's really
That's where they go, Shanka.
That's where's Sydney?
Where's my bag?
Is that what people when they come to Sydney and they're like, I'm going to Mount Druitt, and then Raph comes down and shanks you? Wow. I don't know. You started the shank.
But it's crazy because there's enough fillers out there to have like higher like what do you call it? Is it celebrity? They have like a fan base of other fillers because there's people who support. But like you come here, I mean, there's not enough. I mean, that's why that YouTube scene.
The YouTube scene
kinda
was
really
massive.
blew up.
they're killing it.
I met a lot of friends. Everyone knows everyone in that scene.
I feel like anywhere you go, even though it's not America or anything, I feel like you have a magnet on your back that attracts other Filipinos.
Oh yeah,
That's what I feel like. I feel like you
That's
bump into Filipinos everywhere you go because there's an invisible magnet. I don't know.
it's the nods. You get the nods.
You just know the radar just goes
eyebrows.
crazy.
It's the eyebrows,
The
definitely. Like I
eyebrows.
did this.
The eyebrows.
They don't say hello. They just raise the eyebrows. I realized I did this at work. Actually, I do it, and I'm lucky that I think they understand that I do this because I'm Filipino, not because I'm a creep. But every time I see somebody, I'm just like raise my eyebrows at them. And they kind of just look at me like, why is he looking at me like that?
He's just proving that he's not Asian and he's got bigger
I think he
eyes.
wants to fuck me. How's it going, bro?
Sometimes I do.
How's it going, man?
I'll see you at the Christmas party.
Yeah. You watch cricket? No, don't worry about it then.
But you're right, it is so different. Like, you do have a bit of a magnet because when people know that you look like them, it's like, oh, you're gonna get it. It's just like you just get the same humor, the same jokes. But as I said, same culture, different font. We just a little bit different.
Oh, I really want to go.
I reckon the Filipinos in Australia, top-notch people.
I want to go.
Best Filipinos in the
in
world.
Australia, sick cunts.
Sick.
Sick cunts. Oh yes, sounds good.
Heaps sick.
We're heaps sick.
Fucking
Hella sick. Hella
cunts.
sick.
Wait,
Hella sick
Hella
cunts.
sick. No.
Hella sick cunts.
I was trying to explain this to my friends because they are over there because they don't realize that we just say cunt so casually. Like it's not really a thing. And I was saying so what you do is you say a sick cunt means you're heaps good. A mad cunt means like, oh yeah, you're fucking
You're
tops.
heaps good.
You're heaps good. You're a mad cunt. But if you're a shit cunt,
Oh yeah, that's not.
not it.
Nah.
And the worst,
Or a fucking cunt.
you're a fucking cunt. But the worst is you're a dog cunt.
Dog cunt. I'd be a fucking dog cunt.
Don't be a
Light
dog.
you on fire.
Don't be a dog at all.
You're a dog. I
You're
don't
a
think they
dog.
say that.
Well,
You're a dog.
You don't say it. I don't hear it as much now than I was in high school. High
Yeah.
school, I kept hearing like, "Oh, you're a dog."
You're a
This
dog.
Dog. As in, like, if you do something like that betrays someone,
It's like the worst thing you could do.
There's one that's like a there's one that's a bonus. It's not it's more just like, oh man, don't do that. It's like, oh, don't be a slack cunt.
Yeah,
that'd be a slack cunt.
Don't be a slacker. And it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's jolly. Like we're just really happy
Oh,
with it.
don't be a slack cunt. It's alright. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I sometimes use that word when people like roast someone, like they're like doing a group roast.
Yeah.
And then someone just says something that's it's not even slack at all, but I'll be like, "Oh, slack." And it makes everyone go quiet. It was, "Oh, maybe we are too hard on this guy."
The funny thing is, like, we've said so much here, and there's like terminology. You said tops earlier. Like, I don't think American Filipinos or Americans will know what tops is. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, that's fucking tops."
That's fucking tops.
Like, what do you mean?
One time I was like, "Oh, you're such a clown." You know, we say you're just clowning.
clown.
You're
Yeah,
such a clown. And then
Well, that's offensive to them,
it's
right?
offensive.
Yeah.
It's
When you
like,
call
well, you're
someone a
being
clown,
like
they're
a clown. Like you're funny.
Look at this. Yeah, look at this
Silly
clown.
goofy.
But yeah, it's funny because like it's the same definition because like you're saying clown, like you're entertaining me.
Clowning.
It's like, "Oh, I'm entertaining you." Oh, like as in like
I don't know what
you're a
that
slave or just the type of thing.
You know what? I've kind of experienced this recently as well, right? So I'm doing my thing, just being funny or whatever, and then they were like laughing and shit, just going, "You stupid," and I was like, "Fuck you then." No, I didn't realize at the time they were like, "Stupid." Like that was
Especially if
an
it's
endearing
online,
thing.
you're just like, I'm
And I was like,
stupid.
Stupid. Fuck off then. Like, don't,
Like G2G. Try to kick game.
G2G, bye.
Oh man.
All right, let's get to one of my segments. Let's go with the.
Dawn, white Hungarian salami.
That's interesting.
Oh, we have segments now.
Oh, we've upgraded. This is 100k.
We're not
Cheatcoders
chaos. We're
thing.
controlled chaos.
Controlled
Controlled
chaos. What thing that I thought was interesting was like, it's because if you, because Garcia is named Christian, doesn't have an H in it,
No.
right? Doesn't have an H in it, and it makes me think.
Unique.
If it made me feel that I think Filipinos don't respect the letter H. There's no respect there. Like a friend of mine, his name is John, but the H is before the O, so it's like Jehon,
What?
John. Right? And I'm pretty sure that when people say Filipinos say your name, Nathan, there's no H in it, it's Neten. Neten.
Bro,
Nathan.
Philippines,
My
the
mom
way
calls
those
me
Filipinos
Nathan.
say it, they say Pilipinas.
Filipinas.
No H.
There's no H.
It turns into an F.
Exactly. So
Fuck the H then.
There's no H. There's no H in it, and I'm pretty sure even we don't need the CH. Like it'll be TS because like chinelas is like a ch sound.
And
But
they don't say hi. They say I.
Give us an example. Give us an alimbawa.
right. So we should just do away with the letter H. I think.
So you're Cheatcoders.
We're the cheatcoders, but it's
Well, with a TS.
Yeah, man. Cheatcoders.
And we are Ella good.
Oh man, that's that. And I thought because Christian's name doesn't have the H in it. Like why do we need it?
Why do we need H? What
So
does H do?
Explain to me the Hungarian. What segment is this? Why did you
It's a
play
sad-
this? Are we in a segment?
So yeah, we're in the
Oh,
segment.
That's his tag. That's his tag.
So
Dawn,
We just never bother changing it.
The Hungarian.
So
I mean the Hungarian.
the Hungarian.
Hungarian.
So like
Yung Hungarian
the
to.
Hungarian salami.
Lintik.
It's just
Tik talagang batang to.
I love that
Hungarian
word.
naman.
Lintik.
the segment is like Garcia and I kind of make up like jokes or when we talk about things and we try to make things funny, which is the segment. But then there's a soundbite for Garcia's one, which makes a little more sense. My one doesn't. It just describes salami with my name on it. That's all it
because
is.
you know who picks all the tags? Me.
This guy.
What Hungarian salam?
Well, again, like I think we should. I don't mind getting rid of H because like it doesn't really help with any of the words that we.
Cheatcoders.
It doesn't help.
Hungarians.
You really don't need it. Ma'al kita. I think we might need it.
And then, but like, because I'm thinking right, like
Where is
if
this
there is like a h sound,
Yeah.
then we just use the J.
What?
Because it's like in the Mexicans they use the J.
Like laughing.
They say it. They
Like-
say Himi? Like Jimmy is Himi?
Yeah. And ha 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 is ja 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 ja.
Yeah, ja, 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 ja. Let's just use the J.
Ja 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 ja.
That's all I'm saying. Like, so
I didn't get that. I didn't get
that.
that until someone explained that to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, like jalapeno.
It's jalapenos. It's a H.
Jalapeno.
Jalapenos.
Bro, this is gonna find a lot of fellows in Cali or in LA in particular, because they already have a hard time trying to distinguish us and the Mexicans.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
And if we stop using H, they're fucked up. Like,
Jello.
ja.
Ja 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 man. Ja feel me? Ja feel me? Ja feel
So
me?
you reckon Jar Jar Binks in the beginning was Ha Ha Binks?
it's called
Yeah, because his character was a joke, bro.
He was a clown.
He was a clown.
soundtrack
Legit a
by
clown.
Ja Rule.
No, not as good as
Rule.
Unsolo. Unsolo sounds more Asian.
Unsolo.
Chance.
Who's that? Unsolo?
Unsolo.
Ay, si Han Solo. Lintik. Lintik Han Solo.
All right, let's move on to our
I
next
love
segment.
that word. We just
destroyed it.
Okay, bye.
All right, here we
Holy
go.
shit.
Jolly shit.
Hey, what's the wild thought of the week?
Well, it's more of like a train of thought,
See how it
man.
makes more sense? See?
Because it is Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year.
Lunar
but
New Year.
I think it's widely known as Chinese New Year more than.
Well, it's called Lunar New
Anything?
Year because it follows the lunar calendar.
yeah,
And that's why
it always changes all the
it's
time.
on a different day. This time it lands on the 22nd
Yeah.
of January.
So the Chinese people, they got to contact NASA, confirm,
Yes.
and then NASA goes, all right, have it on this weekend.
yes. Yes.
No,
Exactly.
sweet. No, but the thing that
They have to wait till the stars align.
yeah. It's like, is something rising or whatever? Like a lunar moon rising.
Mercury's
Chinese
in,
New Year moon.
Mercury's in Gatorade. I think that's the one.
What?
Mercury's
Mercury
in
Gatorade.
Yeah. Mercury's in Gatorade.
Mercury Powerade.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, man?
No. Well, with Philippines, we do have like close ties with China,
Yes.
and not just for now, but even like the oldest, like Chinatown, like the very first Chinatown in the world, is in Manila, right? Like
Really?
Yeah. And so you go there again, dope Filipino food and Chinese food because it's straight up like we've evolved with each other over there. But then like again, because we're Cheatcoders, it kind of got me thinking like Filipino New Year. Like how come we don't fucking have one of those, right?
Because we don't want to lose another arm.
Another what?
Fireworks.
I mean, we're gonna lose something anyway. But I was thinking like because we got like this year is the year of the rabbit.
Yes.
We can't really go. We've tried to think of like something that's native to Phil's. So the year of the Calabao, right? Because that's one of the things that's native. But then Vietnam's got Calabaos too.
Yeah.
The thing that got me thinking is like, what's like unique to Philippines that you can't find anywhere else in the world? Yeah. Because even the Philippine eagle, it's an eagle. Like you're gonna find like fucking America's bald eagles on the, the whole Constitution shit.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that I can think of that's unique to Philippines is black dogs that are named Blackie. I don't ever think of that. Like growing up, right? Like, so no. I'm not even kidding. Like, I've never known any other race in the world that has a pet like a black dog that's named Blackie. So,
Blackie.
like, my mom's family, when she was younger, they had one at school. Blackie. Like, I've got friends and stuff. They had a black dog straight up. Just name it Blackie.
And before you ask what the breed is, it's just dog.
It doesn't have
Just
to
dog.
be any particular
There's no
breed.
breed. It's just
so
dog.
long as it's a black dog,
Yeah.
and you think up of a name, well, Blackie. Like I had a black Labrador when it was called Jesse, right?
Yep.
But if that's because like we adopted it and someone had named it already. But had it been like a puppy and my mom was like in charge of naming it,
Yep.
it would have been Blackie for sure.
Blackie.
You know what I mean? Like, because you never, like, imagine this. Like, try to imagine a white family in America right now. Central, like, middle America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you give them a black dog. What are the chances of them calling that dog Blackie?
Zero.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I never thought it, like, I
PC.
never come across any other, like, not just white people, but any other, even Asian, like, any other race that has the balls to call their black dog Blackie.
Blackie.
So that can be an animal
So
that's unique to
you're
Philippines.
saying for the first Filipino New Year,
Yeah.
It's gonna be the year of
Of
the
the
blackie.
But even in high school, one of our friends, like, they had a black goldfish, the ones with the big eyes and stuff.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
His mom called it Blackie, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, we used to have a dog that was named Blackie. Well, the dog's name was Blackie Chan or something like that."
That's
and
creative.
then when the dog was passed away, they named their goldfish Blackie. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Fuck!" Like I never really,
I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah.
I had a dog named Blackie.
Yeah, see?
Really?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Oh wow.
Put
Yeah.
a poll.
And,
I was dark enough to be called Blackie.
Just Blackie for the first few years.
This is my son
Wait,
Raph,
Blackie.
aka Blackie.
Oh my god. AKA.
I mean, why? It's your son's year then?
I don't think you'd be able to name a dog.
But the way to
Blackie
say it, they say
nowadays.
The
No.
way they say Blackie is Blackie.
Black.
So you can give like black envelopes because it brings good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck charms.
Oh man. Good luck.
Good luck.
Lucky
Oh
charms.
man.
Lucky charms.
Lucky charms.
Oh man. Yeah, that's
Thanks,
the
Dad.
wild
Thanks for
thought
that joke, Dad.
for this week at least. But yeah, Happy New Year's too.
I really think that we should get our own Filipino New Year type of thing.
Yeah, man. We
The more
should.
chances we can get, more lechon. I'm down for it.
What would
bro.
you base the Filipino New Year on? Like, because
It depends on when Manny Pacquiao fights. That starts the new year. So because he fights once a year now. It's no longer like often. So every time he fights, it's a new year.
It's the year of the De La Hoya this year.
And then we can just walk around and be like, Happy Manny New Year.
Yeah.
Happy Manny.
Happy Manny New Year.
Manny New Year. Manny New Year to you.
Mine apart.
Last year was the year of
Manny
the last year was the year of DKU. That was the guy that he
Yeah.
fought last year.
Oh man.
It's the year of the opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they die.
Oh man.
Bro. Yeah, man. We should just base it off like the Manny New Year, bro. I'd buy the Manny calendar.
It's just all his fights.
Yeah. It's
Manny New
it's
Year.
Public
the
holidays.
red pocket.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey.
You give red gloves.
And
The boxing gloves?
What do you have in there?
Red
Money.
gloves.
And you
Money.
You put money in the red pocket.
You put money in there. You give money so everybody can have lots of money. Money New Year.
and then you say money thanks.
Money things.
Many blessings.
money blessings to you.
Because he's
Oh, man.
he's kind of like our Luna. It's not like our Luna thing.
He's the
He's
event that we all kind of center around, eh?
Yeah. Because you were going back to that where we can like magnetize Filipinos. Back when he had his fights, you just had to go to Rudy Hill RSL.
Yeah.
And all the Filipinos from all of Sydney would be there.
Put on the
There was-
Filipino flag jackets.
Yeah, there's
That's it.
actually a stat, I think, in the Phils that crime rate drops.
Yeah, dude.
Every
There's
single
no
time.
traffic when he's fighting.
Every time. Yeah,
Yeah.
crime rate drops.
Are you saying that we're criminals?
No,
When he
That's how I read
fights,
it.
when he fights, like in the Phils,
Yeah.
crime rate drops, like because everyone's just
Everyone's
on
just on
glued
it.
to
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
phone.
Very
It's nuts.
So all the criminals in the Philippines.
Now we know how to plot.
So now he's kind of like semi-retired. That means like we need a new savior.
Crime's back.
We need a new Manny.
It's whenever Bruno Mars releases a new album.
Yeah. He needs to change now.
But yeah, like I'm pretty sure he'll be fighting once a year for the next 5 years. So we
Yeah.
can keep the Manny calendar going on.
Next year is
For
gonna be
5
the year
more
of the Paul Logan.
Ooh, ooh, you're the Logan.
That'd be crazy. Like if
You're
like,
the Paul.
crime is like so rampant in Phils, and they go, "Fuck, we need Manny to fight again." We need to keep the shit in check.
Because
bro.
remember
Sounds
when
like
the,
sounds like a purge almost.
remember when the Rugby
Better
World Cup
reverse
when the Samoans were going crazy with the
With the flags, yeah.
Oh man, I wanted to feel as proud as like being Filipino. I wanted an
Yeah.
event like a Manny Pacquiao fight because they're all about the Chihus, not the Yeehees. We're the Yeehees.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true.
We want to hear more chihu. Less chihu, but more yee.
That's our chihu.
Or the silent ones that
It's constant.
you have a crush.
Yee is international, like any communication, any emotion. It's just how you express it, bro. Be like flirty, be like yee, or like you're cheering someone on, like yee.
It's like a Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
Yee!
Every time, it's like from now on, every time I hear a chihu, I'm gonna yell out a yee.
You need to make it a thing.
They'll be confused.
There's a filler in the crowd.
I think we're Blacktown.
Yeah.
No, Blackie Town.
No, this is Blackie Town. We overshot Blacktown. We got to Ridley Hill.
Shout outs to all of our Polynesian listeners out there.
Oh, shout out to you. Chihu. No. Yee.
My voice doesn't even go that high, bro.
You know where you hear the most yee-hees? At karaoke, bro.
After a few drinks.
Hey, you got the 98? Yee!
You just have to do a good run and they go, ooh, yee.
Oh, the wee! With the brows. Wee! I Celine Dion on the set list.
You sound like a soundboard, like someone's pressed a button, and then you're making that sound like it's so.
Tignan mo si Beyonce De La Cruz over here.
You know, we need a Filipino Mario, bro.
Beyonce De La Cruz.
He'll just be saying, yee.
Oh my god.
You have to make a soundbite.
I am Manny Pacquiao. I'm gonna win.
Tito Mario, man.
Tito Mario.
Yee. Halaga sa buhay mo.
Can you make that into a soundbite?
Baka sa buhay mo. Lintik talagang batang to. Yee! Just make sound bites. So funny.
Boy, yeah, man. Oh,
Wow.
that was good. That was a good thought, man.
Cheers to passive racism.
But if you want to get a Manny New Year calendar, shout out.
Many blessings, many money.
Many blessings. Many money.
Many money for you. Many New Year.
But so back to you, Leanne.
Oh, back to me.
With the inspirational coaching, the business coaching, life coaching, how's that going now? Because we talked about how it started because of you pivoting from COVID, but how's that going now as a business?
Yeah, it's great. It's as I said, it's giving me the flexibility to like move around the world and support people at any level. And one thing that's it. Yeah, it's so random now. I used to just really work with a lot of coaches and a lot of people who worked online. But since I've been able to travel and network with just like high level business owners and just like different types of people, I've been able to network and just meet a lot of people who still need the same principles, even if I'm not like helping them specifically on their like business strategy. Say I go to LA or I go to America, and I'm like, I just so happen to be around a lot of artists. I'm still using like the principles of like manifestation, helping them meditate, learning, like helping them lean in to self-belief, and it's just like at a different level. And I think one of my goals now, wherever I end up, is to work with high-level people to help them level up and reach their next goals.
Hey, high-level people.
High-level people.
Yee! It's telekinesis. It's Filo-Kinesis right here. Filo-Kinesis.
You just get each other.
You're just looking like, all right, yeah, this is a YEEHEE moment.
Filo-Kinesis.
YEEHEE moment.
That's gonna be a Filipino doctor, Xavier.
Yeah.
This is why as well.
It's when you communicate. Like,
This is like kind of sidetracked, kind of same thing, but this is why making content is so important, especially if you're brown, especially if you're Filo or any kind of Asian, because even if, say, like, for example, there's a lot of business coaches, a lot of life coaches, a lot of people who teach like transformational work and manifestation.
Yep.
But like for me to really just appreciate and embody the fact that I'm Filo, there's so many people, especially like, you know, artists that I've been connecting with recently, even though like they're not familiar with what I teach, they know that I'm philo. They know that like a lot of philos have what we're talking about, like survival mindset blocks because of the way that we're brought up. And so if you want to like expand your business or expand to like new demographics, if you're just leaning into that's what I love what you guys are doing. If you're leaning into just like the fact that we're brown, that we're Asian, people are gonna relate.
Yeah.
And it just helps you spread your message in a way that's gonna really connect to people.
People may not know this, but like when we first started, even before we had so many like followers and listeners to the podcast, Leanne was there, and you were telling us to kind of lean into the Filipino culture.
Yes, because we're underrepresented.
Yeah. And we like, if you look hard enough onto our TikToks and stuff like that, you'll see videos of Leanne and us, like some comedy skits that we made.
Yeah, we tried to do Filipino comedy skits before the Cheatcoders did the whole Filipino leaning in towards that.
Theme,
And then we did two that were released. We did the karaoke one.
Yeah.
Where like one person's like, I don't want to really sing, but really they're a Whitney Houston karaoke person. There's always that one, and there's always the one where you're trying to leave home, and then they give you so much bowing, and it just becomes too much.
Yeah, do you remember?
You're in
what was the one? And you had the guitar. So I go into the room, and I'm like, Don, where are you? Or something, and then it
was something along the lines of like.
And then you're with the guitar and you're
singing Lemonade.
Oh yeah, every situation he just finds a way to sing Lemonade.
She's my sunshine in the rain.
Yeah, that's funny. We have to find that. I'll send it to him.
Yeah.
It's still out on the thing, on the Cheatcoders thing.
We've got it somewhere.
You have to scroll really
all the way
down.
It's really funny.
We might repost it. For
it's
fun.
a testament to the stuff that you do, because like way back when it's exactly what we're doing right now, where we're representing, when we started leaning into our culture and started to be like to represent Filipinos, that's when things took off for us. That's when things shut up.
That's it.
So,
because you're embodying your authentic self. So many people try to like fit like their skills in a box. Like, oh, what am I good at? And I think you guys started like, oh, Cheatcoders is about like. At first, before I came onto this podcast, I was like, oh, is it about like unpacking cheating? Like, is it like dating advice? But then no, you guys are just.
Some people used to think that our podcast was called The Cheaters Code. Which
but
I'm like,
you were bringing on a lot of like inspirational people talking about what they did. But I think I was like, man, but you guys. Your essence of your podcast is just about being funny and being you. And if the crux of it, it's all funny for us because we're freaking philo and we get it. We like.
And then some other cultures do find it funny as well because they find the similarities.
They're ethnic.
Of the ethnic cultures. So.
And I think something that's like really specific, really niche, is that we're not just philo. We're Western philos. We're like third culture kids. We're second generation migrants, and like sometimes that. Comedy doesn't really like slap with I guess be nice.
But at the end of the day, whatever slaps for someone doesn't slap for someone else. No matter what you say, and we've realized that, and like we're not going to change for anyone.
That's it.
And we're not going to change because like a couple haters are out there saying that we're either insulting the culture or not, because inside our hearts we know we're not. And we're not going to change the way that we do.
You're painting an authentic experience of a Western philo.
Yeah.
It's not like we're like, it's not like you guys are bagging them out. It's just like, it's different. It's funny because like we can relate.
It's also because we talk about our experience, and that's what we've grown up experiencing is Filipino culture and also Western culture, and we mash those two things together. And that's
so like
exactly
in school maybe we're getting bagged out for having smelly food or whatever, but like philos from the Philippines won't have to have that experience. So there's going to be certain jokes they won't relate with. Actually, I have a mate who's friends with Jokoy, the comedian. And
Shout outs.
Well, talk to your mate and try to get a little like a nod for the Cheatcoders. Get him on the show. I heard he's coming to Australia. And hopefully, Jokoy, if you're listening to this podcast, and that Leanne's friend talk to you to listen to us, Come on to the show. We would love to have you on.
Or can we just like, can we be the support act? That would be amazing to be the support
you know what?
act.
You guys just
in the
need to come to America and just talk like hella bogan, and then they'll just flock. They'll just flock. They'll be like, oh, you're Australian Filipino. Oh, they froth. They'll just froth.
It's like you're Filipino, but your voice is Chris Hemsworth.
And you don't say hella, you say hey.
That's why your wife likes you.
That's it.
Because you're brown.
I'm the brown Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, exactly.
Without an H.
That's a rarity in Sydney.
I'm Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Anyway.
Chris Hemsworth.
Jokoy. Okay, so Jokoy apparently, you know, I've seen a show. He's so good.
Yeah.
You know, he slaps in the States, but he goes to the Philippines.
Slaps.
And he doesn't slap. He
Is
doesn't
that
smack.
legit? What happens?
He doesn't at the same level because they're like, why are
they
you
don't get
making fun of us?
Yes.
Back, why? What's this joke? But really, it's like,
Yeah, my mom and like her sisters, they don't find Jokoy funny.
yeah.
They were
I
watching.
think
They were
yeah.
watching it
I
during
think
like
that's really
Christmas and New Year's, and my mom was just like, I don't understand why this is not funny. It's like,
Your mom doesn't sound like that.
I know, but like that's
That's the mentality.
That's the
yeah.
accent that I have in my head that my mom talks to me.
Yeah.
Sounds American.
She does.
but like it's not that it's not funny, and it's not that he's trying to insult.
It's
It's
just different experience.
It's different. Like
Different
they don't
experience, yeah.
they don't get it because they have
Different
been
perspectives, too.
accepted by
Yeah.
growing up in Phils. You're accepted. Your values are very different, and so it's not like you guys are like when you're like doing the accent. It's not like you're shitting on it. It's like that's
That's what we know.
it's what you know.
Yeah.
That's what I hear every time my mom speaks. Like, she has a slight accent, and it's amplified in my head because, like, I thought about it before that the reason why I continue to perpetuate that my mom has that accent is because I don't want to let go of that being like my experience of being Filipino. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I think of my mom, I think of her as a Filipino woman, not as a Filipino-Australian woman. If that makes any sense?
Yeah, I can understand that.
You know, she's my like connection to being Filipino, like my mom, my grandmother, all my family and stuff like that.
So, yeah, because like once I feel like every Filipino household, that's your moms or your uncles or stuff. It's a Filipino embassy. You know what I mean? Like when you go to the Filipino embassy, you're in the Philippines.
Yeah.
If you go to your mom's house, it's no longer Australia. You're here as a Filipino. Take
Go
off
show
your
your
shoes.
passport. Yeah.
Take off your shoes.
Leave your Australian shoes at the door.
You need to,
Leave your Havianas there.
Yeah.
because you need to adhere to the customs when you're there,
do.
right? Because you need to manopo. Like, you're not gonna go to your white friend's place and then manopo them. You go to your mom's place.
TFC's on the TV.
Yeah, it's
There's
playing.
no other channel. You just feel like you just crossed the border.
So yeah, it's like we're travelers. Like
Yeah,
as a
that's
kid, that's why like Philo Aussies or Philo Westerners are so conflicted with culture. That's why we have our own humor, because it's like we're literally traveling from school to like Phils. Like it's a different set of
That's it.
cultural rules.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we go back to the school and it's like, hey mate, how you doing? Like, this is heaps keen, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, nah.
And
And then you go home, it's like, oh yeah, like we're having adobo for dinner tonight. Oh, heaps cane. Like, what did you say to
Yeah.
me?
I mean, you know.
And it sucks because like that's why sometimes like we kind of water ourselves, like our culture down, especially if you have a lot of like Aussie friends. Like I remember saying I remember calling my dad for the first like 5-10 years of my life was Papa. It's cute.
Papa.
It's like, hey Papa.
Yep.
And then I would call and then I would like say it to my friends and they're like, Papa? What's Papa? And then I remember one night coming home and I was just like so embarrassed by my friends. I'd call my dad, hey Dad, can you pass the salt? And he was like, what? Who are you? My child.
What have you done to my daughter?
It was like it was just a crossover.
Yeah, that's because I call my mom and my dad, Mama and Papa.
Yep.
But when I talk to someone else, I'll be like, oh, this is like, my dad
dad.
did this, my mom did this.
Yeah.
I don't say my papa did this, my dad.
You
For
don't.
some reason, it just seems like there's a barrier there.
It is.
Yeah, like,
Like the way that I say, like, because I pronounce dad the way that my dad would say it. Dad.
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 Daddy.
I go, Dad. Daddy. Dad.
Daddy.
And when one of my mates heard that, they're like, "What's a dad?" Who's a dad?
you should just say,
Call
you're
him
the
a
dad. You're the dad.
Oh my. When I was growing up in primary school, my mum would try to get ahead, classic Asian mum, and try to teach me words. And so she would be like, every night before school, we would learn how to spell and pronounce words. So most, and, but, like very common words. And then every day in school, we would have like a segment where you would read the word of the day. And I remember, and I was a really shy kid, but I remember there was a word that the teacher put up on the whiteboard, and she's like, does anybody know what this word was? And it was a word that my mum spoke to me about just the night before. I was like, oh my God, I know this, I'm gonna nail it. And then, so I'm like, first to put my hands up, you already know. First I put my hand up, and the teacher's like, oh, Leanne, please stand up and present the word. And I look at her and I like put my big girl pants on and I'm like, da. And she was like,
Duh.
And I was like, I'm looking around getting like nervous. I'm like, da. And my teacher's just like giving me dirties. I'm like, da, it's da. And then she's just looking at me, she's so confused. And she's like, Cameron Attard over there, I see you with your hand up. Can you please stand up?
You know the name and everything.
Yeah, name fucking Cameron.
Cameron
Shout outs.
bloody Attard. She's like, I know the word, miss. The word is the.
Duh.
Nah. And I remember going home crying to my mom, never teach me English again. It's not da, it's the.
See, no H in that one.
I'll tell you the story. I don't think I told anyone this, but look, my dad's name's Danilo, right? As I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this on it, but the nickname for Danilo is Danny, right?
Yep.
But when you're saying it the way you would say it in our accent is Dunny, like
Dunny.
But the thing is, here in Australia, Dunny means going to, like a toilet,
Yeah,
right?
it means toilet.
So it's kind of flipped. Like with the Filo community here that he was growing up with, like, in the 80s, 90s, they switched his name around, like, so that we're not talking, like, when they're not calling him a toilet.
Yeah.
So they flipped it backwards. Like, so it's Nads, like, it's rather than DAN, it's NAD.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just a nickname now, Kuya Nads or whatever.
Kuya Nads.
But then again, by the time I found out about this shit, I was thinking, nads mean balls, right? Like, I didn't have the herd, like the heart to tell him. Yeah. So up to now, like, people are still calling him Kuya Nads. But
so it's either Danny or balls.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's had the balls to tell him.
All he hated.
No one had the nads to tell
Go
nads.
Nads.
Go Nads.
Nads blazing.
There was a story that you were telling me about, because your dad used to have a set of mates and they would do the what's it called, the
CB radio.
CB radio, and one of them had a code name because he's from Lakemba.
Well, that's the thing. You got to have like a tag or whatever, right?
His tag.
Like, dad's name is Batang Pasay and stuff.
Yeah.
But the dude's name is like Pasay Boy or something. So they go, fuck, you're gonna have to figure out a new name. He goes, well, since you're here in Australia now and you live in Lakemba, you just call yourself a Lakemba boy. And he goes, oh yeah, Lakemba boy.
Lakemba boy.
That's so good.
Because Batang Pasay and Pasay boy is too close.
Yeah. Lakemba boy.
Lakemba boy.
I love that.
Wow, that's like
So good.
That's up there with your ba.
Yeah.
But see, like, that's a joke that only Filipinos in Australia would understand. Filipinos in Sydney specifically
So
would
niche.
understand.
So niche.
Because so niche, because there's a place in here that's Lakemba.
Yeah.
Nobody else would understand that.
Like Dune side, like
Yeah.
Dune side.
Doon side. Where are we meeting? Doon side.
Which side?
Doon
side.
It's the name of a place you have to say with your lips. Un side.
Growing up, a lot of people have said that bahala ka sa buhay mo is like the most, like the worst thing that somebody, like your parents, could say to you. But for me, it was wala kang pakinabang. It was because like that means that
Fucking useless.
You're
You have no
useless.
hope.
And I remember hearing it. And I'm like,
That's insulting.
like when my mom said "Bahala ka sa buhay mo," I'm like, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
kind of motivational if you think about it. Just
Yeah.
live your life.
Live your life.
It's okay.
YOLO.
You're in charge of your own life.
Exactly.
But
What's that Ti song with Rihanna?
Live your
Live
life.
your life.
your life. Bahala ka.
Sa buhay mo. Bahala ka sa buhay mo.
He just woke up.
My favorite was may toyo sa utak mo.
Whoa.
There's soy sauce in your brain.
Toyo sa utak mo.
So salty.
Wow, you got soy sauce on the
That
brain.
is salty. Really
It's real
salty.
salty.
That's
Yeah,
fucked up.
let's see.
What the fuck did they get
That's
in there?
another Rihanna song, Love in My Brain. It's like soy
It's
sauce
all
in your
about,
brain.
it's all about Rihanna.
Rihanna's got this down pat.
Toyo sa utak mo.
Rihanna must be filler because you don't pronounce the H.
Oh yeah,
And-
Rihanna.
bro. I'm gonna claim it right now. Rihanna is Filipino for sure. Her real name's Bayani or some shit.
By way of Barbados. She's Filipino by way of Barbados.
Rihanna. Straight up. What the hell? We get the
Oh man.
Oh man.
Bahala ka.
Sa buhay mo.
Hey.
Bahala ka sa buhay mo. Yee-hee.
We have fun.
Even the brand Panty was it? What's up, bro?
Fendi.
Fenty.
Fucking hell, right? Holy shit.
Savage pen. Savage panty.
Savage panty.
Savage Panty.
When
Panty
are you?
beauty. Panty beauty.
Panty beauty.
Oh my goodness.
Shouts to Rihanna. Or Biani. That's your real name.
Renamed her.
Fuck.
Oh
My
god.
middle name's Efren.
Biani.
Rihanna Efren.
Bayani.
Ayun, ano ba yan?
Ayan.
Ano ba yan?
Oh god.
Well, what's the future like for Leanne Melody?
Who knows? 50 countries.
50 countries?
50
I reckon you can get up to
countries.
60.
Yeah, more,
do it.
more the merrier. Slow travel.
I reckon you go
Immerse
70, bro.
myself.
No, that's
Hey, oh, why not?
that's another one.
100. I want to. I will create a bigger impact around the world. So use content that makes an impact. Yeah, I really want to build. So what I do now is I help people tap into their intuition and manifest a big AF life. Whether that's through their career, through their content, or teach them how to make an impact with what they do. So yeah, spread the message, spread the word. So
You gotta spread that soy sauce in your utang.
spread that soy sauce. Toya sa utak mo.
Hey.
Sprinkle that all over. So I've already started doing retreats, transformational retreats. I
Yeah.
started some in Thailand at a creative wellness eco resort. I think I was speaking about this like many podcasts ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that, and so we pivot, like we migrated. I moved there for a little bit to set that up, and I want to do these experiences around the world, transformational experiences around the world.
Yep.
Might go back to LA for a little bit and work with different level artists.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tour.
Let's go.
And just teach what I do, run workshops, whether it's like meditation or just like helping people like tap into their craft using these different healing and wellness modalities, but like actually action that into an action plan where they can, so you know, I come across a lot of creatives, a lot of starving artists who, you know, want to do what you guys do. Like they just want to like spread their light and do their thing, but maybe they're lacking direction, or they just don't know how to channel their art into something that's productive and that's making them money. So what I do is like I take all of these ideas and I help them tap into what's actually going to help people, whether it's through their content or through their business, and learn how to use their voice so that they can actually fund their lifestyle and live a freedom lifestyle and travel the world.
Hey, so
Shit.
where
That's
can they
gangsta.
find you in terms of like your are you still doing Impact Empire?
Yes.
Where can they find you?
Impact
too?
Empire.
Find me on Instagram at Leanne Melody _ and I will be kicking off my YouTube this year as well.
Hey.
Don't man.
I always
wanna
think
do
that
it.
I always
So does Leanne
I always
Melody.
like in my mind, I'm always like, Leanne should get her own podcast. Is that happening? I always ask you every time you come
Do
in.
you? I mean, I can talk.
When he can talk, and you do have the content that
do.
that really like can uplift people, and you are relatable, and you do have that, you know, content creative vibe.
Yes, I would love to. So I don't know. Help me out.
Look out for it. Look out for it.
Maybe we'll do a podcast and then just stream it on YouTube. I feel like
Hell yeah.
YouTube helps because you can watch people. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm. I remember you said this the first time I came on. I'm very animated. Yeah, and so like that's just like an easy way for me. But yeah, I mean, I could do podcasts easy, but. I actually connected with a lot of YouTubers, fellow YouTubers actually, and they just, it's just amazing to see what's possible. And I think why it's so important, like people like us use our platforms, whether it's podcasts or YouTube, is because we give people more access to say, hey, like this is a cool Filipino chick or cool Filipino group of guys, like look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think by us just being around and just sharing our light, there's going to be other Philos out there who have similar experiences. No matter what they want to do, they just see us and they see what gets to be possible for them. So yes, I'll be hammering down on the content this year.
Hey. Content creator Leanne Melody gonna be going crazy.
Do you reckon we'll be able to see more Filipino comedy sketches?
I mean, maybe we can bring that back to life.
What sketches? Like, what ideas do we have like now that we have on our mind just to set this sketch stage over our lives?
We're gonna need another writing day, I think.
Brainstorm. So, for those of you that don't know, yeah, we actually, before you guys blew up on TikTok, we all Don and Raf, we all came together to do this thing called the Sinigang Gang.
Gang.
That was the name, right?
Before you guys elevated your platform, and we were like, no, there's no Philo Aussies doing it. And so we would just like write up things, like random things that our parents used to do.
Yeah.
Like very.
You know what we should call ourselves now? Instead of Top Gun? Sinigang.
Sinigang.
Simple.
The return of Maverick.
Mabrin.
But now the team is expanded. So,
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna create a clan.
The return of Marivic.
Marivic.
Marivic 3000.
Sinigan. The return of Marivic.
That's the sound of the jet taking off.
That's the scene of them playing volleyball.
Filipinos love volleyball, bro.
Yeah,
it makes
bro.
sense, bro. Oh man. Take my breath away. Dum dum. Dum dum. Take my breath away.
What was the song that they were playing on the piano? When they, just like spontaneous.
Oh, what was that song? I watched the latest Top Gun before. Well,
Because they sang the same song, right?
Nats, do you know it?
Danger zone.
Fly me to the danger zone. Is that what they're playing on the piano?
No, the bar, when they were in the bar. And then there's a piano
Oh, my
there.
bad. Way
That's
off.
such a Top Gun
way
song
off.
too.
Nah, I don't know then.
And that's, you replace that with a guitar, and it's really a group of Philo dudes, like at a bar, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or a karaoke machine.
It's just
yeah.
lemonade.
Yeah. The return of
It's just a
Marivic.
bunch of like fire. What do you call it again?
Pilots.
Pilots.
Fighter pilots.
Instead of pilots, we got our the
Jeepney drivers.
Danger zone. And they're just weaving through traffic.
Sinigang. That's when they train all the jeepney riders.
Oh man, the return of Marivic.
With the money in their hands, like
Yeah, it looks like that.
Starring Tom Cruise. Spelled differently.
But Cruz is C-R-U-Z.
Tom De La Cruz. De La Cruz.
Oh man.
Shit.
bro.
You know,
the way the jeepney drivers drive, man. Sometimes like it's like
They
the
are
jet
fighting
fighter.
out.
Yeah.
You know who's worse? The bus drivers in Phils. Those guys are crazy, man. Like it's a fucking bus, and they drive it like they're driving a Civic, man. Like it's not a hatchback,
Yeah.
but they treat it like one.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, like
changes.
lanes real quick.
It's
And
crazy
speeding.
that there's not that much accidents though. It's crazy traffic, but it's like they're
controlled chaos.
Yeah, it's controlled chaos because they learn to be alert. Whereas
Yeah.
here we're just so lazy. But someone cuts us off, we just like
Yeah.
honk. We're so aggressive.
We don't pay as much attention to the road as they do.
Yeah.
Because everyone's following
Slack
the
it
rules, so we slack off. May toyo sa utak namin.
Oh man.
Such a
I
weird
love that.
thing.
Oh, bro.
That makes you taste fresh, you know. Like
Yeah.
you need- sometimes life you need some soy sauce. So like adobo
full
without
of,
soy sauce, bland as fuck. It's all vinegar.
Just vinegar, yeah.
You know, add a little soy sauce, make it life and make it look good.
Kiko man sa ulo.
Like it's just quickly because like when sinigang, you know, when I told my my brother-in-law and sister-in-law because they're Indian, I told them what this dish was called sinigang, and they laugh because gan means smelly. Ganda means smelly.
Yeah.
In Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we say maganda, they laugh as well. So it's funny because like their smelly is our beautiful. Our beautiful is their smelly.
You know what? If you were to go, actually, if any of us were to go to India, because I've been, they would probably speak to you in Hindi because we're so racially ambiguous looking. We're just so generic brown Asians.
Yeah, they would call me Raj. They'd be like, "Hey,
Raj.
yo, Raj."
Yeah, you actually, as a traveler, you will be like, you go to any brown country, they'll just talk to you like you're from that country.
Yeah. Like when I was in America, like Mexicans were coming up to me speaking Mexican. I'm like,
Spanish, not Mexican.
yeah, Spanish.
When I was in
You should be
India,
ashamed of yourself. What do you mean you don't speak Spanish?
Are you a Mexican or a Mexicant?
I am a cunt.
A Mexicant.
You're
Be like, here you go on a cat.
man, when I was in India, I remember I was with a white girl at the time. We were there, and some Indian people came up and they wanted to take a photo.
Oh, yes. Very
And they
Oh, yeah.
like I stood there, I sat next to her and in the photo, and legit one of the guys was like, "You get out." He told me to get out of the photo. I'm just like,
They do. So I mean, as a woman in India, like especially if you're white, you are like an anomaly. They're just,
Famous.
they're like you're famous, and so it's good in ways like for safety to be brown sometimes because people
blend in a little bit
don't
more.
think I have money. It's crazy. Well, especially if I go around Asian countries, unless I'm like, I'm all decked up, but like sometimes for safety, like if they can hear my accent or hear that I'm from a Western country, like they don't sometimes they don't approach me like they would like a blonde white girl. So it is kind of good. We just don't really get noticed as much. So
you could be you'd be the spy, like perfect spy in Asia, but then like I think somebody did a skit about it. Like if I was James Bond, and I went to like Europe somewhere, and I was trying to like blend in, they'd be like, "That's James Bond. Hey, that's James Bond." Straight
They
up.
know because it's winter, snowing, and you've got no sleeves and shit. They're like, this.
you got the
dude's-
basketball jersey on.
He's not human, bro. There's a fucking
What
spy.
would be a Filipino James Bond?
Hey?
Like, what's a Filipino James Bond like?
Wait, I'm just trying to picture. What does he drive? What is he wearing? He's wearing a barong all the time.
Barong Tagalog. Barong Tagalog.
That's the worst because you can see all the weapons that he have underneath the barong.
Transparent.
Not only you see the nipple, you see the pistol he has over here.
It's like what's your name? Like, my name's Bong Bong. James Bond.
James Bong.
You can call me Jimmy.
So my real name is Jimmy Bong, or you can call me JB. He just has a lot of names.
Double O Shatter.
Double O shit.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh man.
You can really just make anything filler. This is the whole niche of this
Hey,
podcast.
not say that shit. He's like, you can really make anything filler.
2 hours of friggin' filler references. This is the niche.
My name is Bong. James Bong.
James Bond.
James Bond. My friends call me Bong Bong.
Oh, fucking bong.
He doesn't wear like the suit. He just wears a leather jacket.
Everywhere he goes,
It's the same leather
so
jacket.
it's like crouched over, like
And he's not wearing shoes, he's wearing chinelas. Like
You know,
black hair.
you know the circle that follows him?
Yeah.
He's just crouching like this. He goes,
It's a ring light.
oh man.
it's a cigarette.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
I swear that's what we do every week. We just try to turn something that's not Filipino
James Bond.
into Filipino. James Bong.
Love it.
The name's Bong. My name's James Bong.
It's Money Penny. Instead of this, right? He's like,
You know,
James Bond.
that's what he does in the circle. He's just like squatting down. It's like soy sauce just goes down. Instead of blood. So much sauce.
Oh man. Instead of Goldfinger, it's Rice Finger.
Rice finger.
octopus it.
Octopus.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh, we have fun. We have fun.
It's like, what the fuck? What is going on right now?
It goes on and on and on.
So this is the part of the show we call the Cheatcoders Stash, where we nominate a song that we've been feeling from
Oh
last
my
week, this
gosh.
week, next week, or something in the future, or even from a artist from the future that came from the past. Just say, hey, play this song. We start off with Don doing stuff. So since he's the most cleanest and more looking more like James Bong than any of us right here, can I get a little? Yee-hee.
The song that I'm choosing, I'm going local. I feel like I play this guy's music all the time, but he is a friend of the show as well. Shout outs to Glenn Lumanta. He released a track
Oi,
recently.
Glenn.
Shout out.
This song is called Rapture by Glenn Lumanta.
Yeah.
Glenn's done stuff with Melissa Polinar and Jeremy Passion as well. So.
Melissa Polinar. I haven't
Yeah,
heard that
bro.
name in so long, bro.
But like,
Ooh.
yeah.
It sounds tasty.
Like he writes his own stuff, produces his own stuff.
No, I'm not messing with you. You should open up the door right now. It's getting crazy. Thinking later, maybe we could run around this empty town. See, the city is on fire and a light is coming down from the sky.
Sing it, Glenn.
About the girl next door. When this world is coming to an end. Oh, you find it here. So don't be scared. No, the two of us is all we ever need.
Hey.
So take my hand. Won't let it go. I've been
I swear, man. Glenn's so bloody talented.
so many things I want.
Hey. All right, Beige had himself. Christian without the H.
The song is
What song do you want to play on Cheatcoders Stash?
it's by Jesse Barrera. It's called Maybe We Could Be a Thing. I think it came out last year.
Yes.
We were driving through Melbourne and just popped up while we were driving. I was like, fuck, it sounds so good.
Big fan.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Jesse's another talented Filipino, man.
Oh,
He's great. I did meet him.
Yeah.
yeah.
He picked you up from the airport, yeah?
It's a whole line. It's crazy. It's
They're doing a tour in like Canada at the moment with Jeremy and stuff. And
Yeah, mad.
That's funny.
crazy how it's a universal Philly thing.
Yeah.
It's like you go to California. Did you see? People are usually like, oh, I went to see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
But Filipinos is like, oh, I got to meet Passion.
Yeah. I gotta go see AJ Raphael.
see Ate Bella.
Did the porch. Hey.
Man.
Think I like you just because. This wasn't a
Here's the
karaoke,
noise to
bro.
men right here.
Ooh, noise to men.
Noise to man.
Bata to lalaki.
Lalaki. Oh man, Jesse.
Tuli.
Supotutuli.
Bata to mama.
Bata to. Man, Jesse, bro. We were pumping this in the car, in between TY Miyagi. So like we go from like scaring white people to like serenading white
yeah.
people.
It's all
in
that
the car
balance,
in
bro.
Melbourne.
Love us, love us.
It's all about balance.
Motherfucker, I'm the Hulk.
All right. All the way to London town, getting down. What song do you want to play on the Cheatcoders podcast right now?
Oh,
You muted yourself, bruv, I think.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is that working?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is by a local artist. No, it's not. It's by
Eminem.
Muramasa, and it's called Bless.
Is Muramasa from the UK?
I
They're
don't
from
know, actually.
they're European, I think. Pretty sure.
I haven't been listening to it. I just heard it yesterday. But changed the vibe a little bit.
It's all good music. That's all it is, bruv.
Baby Bendo, bless me.
Hey.
Oh,
Baby, why you 10 me?
Okay.
I love how this type of music just makes you want to groove,
Baby,
bro.
come and ride on me. Baby, how you move so dangerous? Do you know you are dangerous?
Dangerous.
Baby, when you move with that stressing. Baby, why you blessing me? Baby, why you blessing me?
This is like body roll music for sure,
Why you
man.
It's
blessing
Mano music, bro.
This is the Manopos song.
Baby, why you 10
It's
me?
Mano, bro.
Baby, don't worry, keep blessing me. Baby, why you blessing me?
Who's the you're blessing me?
Bless me, baptize me cocky. Me love you ride and I like chill. Top your pussy like pipe for your jeep.
Rap's going in.
Ride in my deep.
Manapot.
Bless,
Manapot. Manapot. Manapot.
Double bless.
Manapot. Manapot.
So me make you come quick.
He's got both hands going. Oh man. Who are the artists on this? So Muramasa is a producer, yeah.
fucking blessing me.
Proverbs 5.
Manapot. Manapot. Manapot.
Baby, why you 10
You should remix this.
Baby, can you ride with me?
Mano.
Baby, come
Mano.
and ride on me. Baby, how you move so dangerous?
So Muramasa is the producer, yeah. But who are the artists on it? Can you see?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's Pasalubong and Skillibang. Skillibang, bang, bang.
Leanne Melody, what song do you want to play on the
Right.
Cheatcoders stash?
Bless.
You by Eliades and R.L. King.
Find that for you. For you. So this song is called You. L. There, found it.
Who's it by? What's the name of the artist again?
Eliades.
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 Eliades. Sorry.
Eliades.
Back in the groove. Manofi.
This is a YEEHEE song, right?
Ooh, when they hit the first note, like
Or the
Galing ni Ellie.
LL.
That's ang galing ni Elle.
hey,
I'm gonna download this one.
Vibes.
gonna shout out to the song, right?
It's a stank face song. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean my house to this.
Bite my lip, yo.
Slowly, like get the Wallace ting ting going.
with the listing thing.
Oh man.
Oh,
That guitar.
the guitar is going
My
crazy.
goodness.
It's like
This song has such a nice pocket as well. You
it's really
just
hitting
sit
my
in that
ears
6/8,
G spot right now. Oh,
Oh man.
I'm thinking Dirty Thoughts, man. This is one of those
Get you in the
songs,
mood.
man. Yeah. You put it in that playlist. You know the playlist I'm talking about.
This is baby making music for sure.
playlist
Man.
with the eggplant emoji.
You put this on in the middle of the night, I'd be well pregnant, bro.
Heaps pregnant.
I'd be heaps pregnant by the morning.
Heaps prego.
Heaps preggers.
Heaps prego.
Prego, bro.
Alright, before anyone get pregnant,
goodness.
we'll just end the song there. That was You by Eliadis with RL.
The Cheatcoders is not taking responsibility for anyone getting pregnant for us playing that song.
And I'm gonna play. Let me see. What song can I play? I'm gonna play "Still the One" by DJ Noise and Mikey Mays.
DJ Noise.
Still the one. Different song.
Same song.
Oh yeah.
I think Jesse Barrera did a cover. It's kind of like this. Yeah.
Hey, can you share the link?
Shout out to Shania Twain.
Never make it. Should just turn every song into a reggae song. Fuck it.
Still going strong.
Hey,
Only mix the two.
I love this, man. Oh my goodness.
Good night.
Hey.
Oh man. I just can't stop this music.
Bro. Honestly.
I gotta
Like
download
I
this one
picture,
too, bro.
I picture like driving to a pier and like in your ute, going 100 on those country roads in Samoa. That's like, bro,
On Hawaii.
or in Hawaii, in a
Shout
pickup
out to-
truck for sure.
Shout out to DJ Noise is in the same label as Kenyon Brown, Relic Brown, and the Brown family, and they're killing it right now.
Yeah.
This is a good start to your new Manny New Year.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Happy
Happy
New Year
Lunar
to
New
all of yous out there.
And Manny New Year as well for you.
Manny New Year.
You're the rabbit, baby.
Oh man.
Well, let's keep it going. It's nearly ending anyway.
We're gonna get copyright struck for sure.
Oh man, we played the whole song. I love it. Cool.
Shout out.
Hey. All right. Thank you once again to Leanne Melody
Yeah.
for coming onto the
Yeah.
show. Giving us a female perspective because we never have a female perspective. Sometimes we just get out of control and then there's no female.
I mean, we got out of control in this episode as well. I think a little bit.
Leanne's just
No
like, what the
filter.
fuck is going on? But thank you for coming on the show and doing your thing and showcasing your perspective on our topics, as well
Yeah.
as showcasing what you do in your coaching, as well as traveling the world, content creating. Where can they find you and that content?
At Leanne Melody _ on Instagram.
Hey.
And that's where you can find me. You can YouTube Leanne Melody as well. I'll be showing up there more.
Yeah.
And TikTok, I'm on
Yeah.
Leanne Melody as well.
There you
Are you going to be on Spotify? Are you going to be doing some music or anything?
Maybe.
Yeah.
yes.
Yee.
Yay! Stay tuned.
All right. So this is the part of the show where we end it.
I was like, wait, what?
Tapos na
Where can they
kami.
find you done doing stuff?
www.dondoingstuff.online. That's my website. At Don Doing Stuff on all the social media platforms. And if you want to listen to some of my music, Don Valix on Spotify and all music streaming platforms.
I
Hey.
didn't know you're on Spotify. Hey.
And all the way in London town, where can they find you? Utam
Yeah,
Clan
Nats
on your shirt.
Utsan Clan, Nats Blazing on
Give
Instagram.
me that bag. There's a bag there. It's a Cheatcoders bag. Yeah, get a Cheatcoders bag. Before we leave,
We have a bag.
we have a special present for our guests. We always forget to do this in front of camera. This is the only
Oh, yeah.
opportunity we can do this. This is our little survival package.
Cheatcoders bag.
Cheatcoders bag. It contains a shirt. Open it up. Contains a shirt that you
It's
can
us.
also purchase online. This is the Pixel beige
TheCheatcoders.com.
Pixel shirt.
Rockin'.
It's
And
beige.
it's a beige one.
Beige.
And also, you also have everybody's favorite hot sauce. All right.
Putang ina.
I'm gonna make a compilation of everyone's reactions to that song.
That's sick.
So shout out
That's
to
hate
Mini
sick.
Pinoy Grill
Shout
for
out to
supplying
Croc, yeah.
the hot sauce.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna bring this in my bed. It's gonna be on everywhere. My new travel hack.
what's that Beyonce line? Like hot sauce in my purse type
Yes,
of, yeah, they gotta
hot
have
sauce.
putangana in my sauce.
Putang ina in my sauce.
Putang ina in my bag.
In my bag. I'm gonna bring this to me when I travel. Put them in disposable bottles. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you for
having
coming
me.
back, honestly.
Thanks for coming.
I have to come next time you're on 200k, 300k.
See you in
Every
100
milestone.
episodes.
Yeah, legit. Last one was your 100th episode.
Yeah.
That's it. And Garcia, where can they find you, bro?
I'll just look up Christian Wildthought on Instagram or Filo-Kinesis.com. I don't know. On Spotify. Fuck, I don't know.
Did we say? Did Nats? Did you get a chance to say where you?
Where were you?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
can
yeah.
they find you, brother?
Oh, yeah, cool. Nats Blazing on Instagram.
Hey, follow us individually because we're kind of entertaining by ourselves. Not really, but yeah.
It's a cheerleader effect.
Yeah, it is a cheerleader effect. You can find me rapflores.hypereal.com.
We're actually much more attractive as a whole, as a unit.
Together.
But individually, we're okay.
Hypereal.com,
That's
hyperealbrand.com, rapflores.com. Anything to do with your video needs, whether you want weddings or corporate videos or music videos, hit me up. Send me to your country, and I'll help you out.
Pay for my flights.
Expensive videographer.
And where can they find the Cheatcoders?
TheCheatcoders.com.
Hey, and you have now listened to another
Yeah,
episode
sports.
of the Cheatcoders.
I love that.
Shout out to DJ Noise.
And cut.